Hello everybody! I am still alive. Just been crazy busy with work, and I finally got a minute to do another video. I've been putting this one off for a little bit. As you can see, I'm up on my trees on my farm. You can tell where we mowed and baled it. And while we were here, I noticed something. Kind of depressed. Actually, really depressed. I haven't really wanted to talk about it because we're gonna have to cut a bunch of the trees out. Yes, it'll make it better for mowing, but I planted all these trees. Just makes me depressed. Let me get the camera flipped. All of these trees down here in this bottom are almost all ash trees. And anybody that knows anything with ash trees can guess what I'm going to say. They all got to be cut out and burnt. I found some emerald ash borer. I found some really sketchy looking trees. They're just all got to come out. So, my fall and winter just got busier because I can't afford to have someone else do it for me, so I'm just gonna do it myself. I got a chainsaw. None of them are super big, but you can see this. It's just crunchy. I mean, it's dead. You can see the leaves are. Get that down. You can see the leaves are just brown and dead. There's more dead ones. There is a few that are still alive with the leaves still in them, but these are all dead for the most part. So you see this one, it has some leaves at the top, and you can see where they have died on it. It's just, they're junk. Depressing. I spent all this time and effort and years getting these trees big enough to do something with. And we're gonna have to cut them all out. You know, I don't know. It's just depressing. I do want to take the cedars out anyway. They'll be easy to get to now because we're probably just gonna start cutting stuff down and laying them on the ground. I might bring my mower up and mow it as we go so we don't have to fight the grass. Get rid of any of the weeds. Grind up all of the little sticks that fall off. Probably make a big pile and burn it. I don't know if I'm allowed to use any of it for like a bushcraft shelter of some sorts. It's just, they're all just fucking dead. I mean, they're just dead. So, being the responsible landowner I am, I'd really like to have a trackhoe come in here and just dig them all out, because then I don't have to fight stumps. But I just got to get it all out. It is going to open this up. We might work on building some fence and moving livestock up. But where we mowed it, it looks so nice and lush right now. But maybe this will open it up to, maybe we'll do a little bit of farming out here. Clean all these up. I mean, it's going to open up a pretty good chunk. I know part of these pine trees are probably going to fall over with it. The pine trees were a filler to get the other trees taller, quicker, and straighter, so they work better as logs. I do have some walnuts in here that don't look as well as they should. They probably will fall over because like them 4 right there are all walnuts. There's another 4-ish there in front of them pine trees. This row here is all walnuts. But as you can see, we got some really crappy ones with some nicer ones. We'll probably pick and choose the nicer ones and just crap out the rest of them. Like these trees that we mowed around, part of them are just going to fall over to make it easier to mow. I do know like these big pines are just going to fall on the ground and we'll burn them. You know, we've got some dead ones in here anyway, that it wouldn't take much to clean it out, and then that will make this mow easier, handier on the equipment. I'm definitely not taking all of them out, but I do like this pine that's by itself. It's just gonna fall over. And several of these where there's groups of them, we're gonna clean them up. See, I got some dead trees that if we cut these off, clean them up, we could have mowed this. There's a few stragglers out here that are just gonna disappear while we're here. Make it easier. We probably won't farm the steep part of the hill, though we may, I don't know yet. We may seed some good grass seed into here, so it's not just the brome. Maybe we'll add some clover or alfalfa to it. But like these couple pines here, if they weren't there, we could have just mowed straight through here and just opened this up some. We get up here on this big hill and see, you know, just another single pine by itself here. If it wasn't there, it'd be easier to get turned around, let the grass grow a little better. But I do have some really nice big oaks. I think all of them are gonna stay. We may eliminate one or two just to make it easier to turn. Yeah. Oh, we got some weeds. We gotta start working on weed control. We do have a few thistles out here. But these big oaks, I think I'm gonna leave, because if we put fence in here and make this a pasture, I think the big oaks will be nice up here, because I've got several really nice ones that these were all planted at the same time. And you see how big these oaks are compared to some of them small walnuts. Let me get up here. Well, you can kind of see. That sucker's at least 2 foot across. You know, it does probably need pruned up. I also thought of where the way this one lays. Looks like a perfect spot to build a bushcraft shelter around the base of that. Or we'll just come up here and build it under the pines. I don't know. If we're gonna cut all them out, we can have plenty of wood to work with maybe. We pruned some of these up, thin a couple of them out. We can mow through here because there is a little opening up here. We just need the access to it. Especially with the livestock, and I keep getting more, it seems like. I always need more hay. So if we can mow this spot where we couldn't really access it as well, prune some trees up. Yes, I hate cutting trees out. That's why we planted them. But I'm also realistic enough to know if we come in here and knock a couple of them out, thin them just enough so there's room for the grass to grow underneath them, we can come in here and mow part of this, make everything work a little bit better. I did start pruning a little bit underneath this big oak. Get them worked up so then we can mow under them easier. Get the tractors in here and then work it around, thin them up, because you can see where we had mowed right up over here. This is pretty open, but we couldn't get through as easy. So if I prune the branches up a little bit, we can get in. I do have this thick stand of pines with some oaks and walnuts in the rows. I think we're just gonna leave it all alone, because I mean, they're nice big old trees. They're making these oaks stretch. They're gonna get up there. I really kind of want to build something up here, but that's the highway right there. I really don't want to be this close, but it's just beautiful up in here. And it's mine. You know, and right there's the highway. So that alone, well, there's a car coming or pickup or something. You'll see the road right there if you can't see it. Well, semi. We're just close enough to the road. I don't want to build something in here. I'd rather build it down this hill. But then you're on the hill instead of the nice flat. And that way is north. So I really don't want to build anything in this open, because I don't want to fight the north wind, because that's cold here. Just wonderful. I'm still mixed opinion on what to do. I know I got to cut all the ash, but if I clean some of them other ones up, it just makes everything mow better. Just like up in here, if I clean a few of these up, prune them up, sacrifice a couple to make it easier to do everything else with, it's probably in my best interest. Lots of walnuts. If anybody needs some black walnuts, you can come pick them up. I can give you the address. I just don't have time. I really don't have time to be doing this, but I'd kind of missed you guys. I got to get back into the habit of doing at least one a week, if not more, on showing what we're doing. But it just needs work. Like this little bitty scrub oak here, it's probably going to catch some chainsaw blight, and that way we don't have to mess with it. This little pine here probably will fall over just to clean up that corner. These couple pines. There is some nice walnuts in here. I'm mixed opinion on if I should trim them up or cut some of them out, because you look at that nice big oak, then you look at some of these smaller walnuts, that they should be bigger than they are. I learned from a family friend who has a very successful greenhouse business. It's probably herbicide damage. I do know spraying thistles, Banville was used probably at a fairly high rate, and that stunts walnut trees. I learned that recently in the last 2 years, and I've had these trees, or I've owned the trees for a couple years, but I planted them on my grandfather's land, and I purchased it from him in his estate when he passed. And it's wonderful. Well, and then another story why this place is sentimental to me. Right about there's where I had a sledding accident and got stitches when I was in kindergarten. This is a pretty good steep hill. My family had taken a tractor and pushed a path from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill and packed the snow with the tractor and loader. And then they come out here with a water tank and watered it just a little bit. And we had one heck of a nice sledding hill. Really nice sledding hill. Until somebody, namely me, decides to get into an accident and get to go to the hospital and have stitches in kindergarten. It was a pretty good time, except for the stitches and the bleeding. Definitely gonna have to come up here and do some weed management. Canadian thistles. Really horrible when you get them. They're kind of a pain to get rid of. But now's the time to do it. You see there's some really nice oaks and pines that we need to just trim some up. And then we got some of these really small walnuts down here. We got some really nice walnuts, but I've got some really crappy walnuts. Like this one will never make a nice log tree because it's already crooked and janky. So it's probably gonna, well, the deer got it. You can see where the deer rubbed it. That's what that is, deer damage. That's what screwed that one up. So it probably needs to just fall over. Some of these small ones are probably just gonna fall over to open this up so we can do a better hay field. These pines here are gonna fall over. They're gonna fall over. And then I do have some really nice walnuts down along this bottom that'll probably stay. But I'll probably cut the ash behind them and kind of leave a spot in the middle there for them. I do have my ground blind, that's that barrel cut off in between them pines there. So I'm gonna have to move it and probably cut all of those pines out because they need it. Their time is done. Just enough that depressed, really depressed. Just like this walnut, it'll make some really nice firewood because it's just that right size. I mean, that's 8-10 inches across at the base, and that'll make some nice firewood out of it. Burn the rest of it as brush, you know, and that's just probably take this row out, probably part of them, just to make a nice patch through the middle. I know we're taking the pine out here because it needs it, and then these scrub ones that have been ruined by the deer are coming out. I'm trying to decide if I take part of these out or if I leave them. I'm not sure. I know the pine will. I kind of thought maybe leaving a few, but I also, it'd just make it easier if they were gone. Depressing. See deer damage on this one too that's healed. That's why it's all janky. This one's not bad, except it's got the branch pulled off, so it'll only be a 6-foot log no matter what you do. So then you're just kind of, and that was wind damage from a couple years ago. The top busted out of it. You know, they're just never going to make good trees because they're just damaged. You know, and then there's that one that's a really nice one. You sit and try to wonder why some of them look so nice and some of them look so janky. But if we would trim this all out, we could come in here, mow along this row of walnuts. Everything up would work really good. Just don't know. I hate cutting trees out, but I am also realistic enough. I got to do something. Got to clean it up. And then we got to think about all the ashes that go that way. I know I'm going to work to the north first because this is kind of the waterway that separates it into two pieces. I might have to put the sprayer on my tractor and bring it out here and spray some weeds. That's a mulberry. It's getting cut. Then it would kind of leave an opening here. We leave that row of them. I think we're going to cut the pine out, leave this row. We might take a couple of these small ones off the end. And then there is a, ooh, there's a ditch there. I wasn't watching where I was walking. There is another small row of walnuts here. And then everything that way is ash. They are all gone. This side of ash looks way healthier. I don't know if I'm going to try to maybe try to preserve the ones this way, or if I'm just going to try to find some more trees to replace these with that are a quicker growing, to just keep this half, which is the small corner trees, and try to build something over here and put a fence up the side of it, up this side of the ditch, and then leave that for pasture because I can run it up to the road and maybe make a little corral, as I do have a little bit of room right up in here that I could put a little corral up there. So then we could load out the few animals we could put on here, make better grass, make better use of the grass. But I got some dang nice ash trees. They're all just dead or dying. They're just, everything that way is just gonna go. Sad and almost wants to make me cry. I do have a burl. Does anybody know anything about burls? I have an ash burl down here. I've been watching it for a few years. And the worst of it is this was thick enough, it was choking out the grass. Now the grass and the weeds are coming back because it's letting the sunlight in. That'll tell you how bad it's gotten. Right here's my burl. It's a pretty good sized one. If anybody would like to purchase it, I would probably be open to offers. I did cut the branch off that side. I know I'm gonna come in and cut it above and below and probably just burn the rest, or firewood. I know a person close that burns a lot of firewood. We might try to save some for some building material for a couple shelters, because I mean, them suckers are probably 25-30 foot tall, straight, not a whole lot of angles or branches that are weird. I mean, that's at least 6-8 inches up here. We could actually build some pretty decent structures with it, but I got to do some research to know if I can, because I don't know if the ash borer stays in the trees. I just don't know. I guess this is a walnut. I can see the leaves up there. That's why this one looks nicer, I guess. That's why that one's alive. Maybe we'll try to leave a few of these that look good, because that is an awesome straight tall tree. But I know that's an ash. You can see it, and it's dead as shit. But the next one's a walnut, because you can see the bark difference, and it's got leaves. So that's maybe what I'm seeing down here. The ones that I thought were still alive might be walnuts. Now that I'm in here looking where I can see, but I don't know. 20-minute video of me just talking and walking around. I just kind of depressed, didn't really want to make this. Just, if anybody's bored this winter and wants to run a chainsaw, I got a job for you. It pays pretty well nothing. Just, what do you do? Crappy day, crappy video. We also have some fence to build, like right here and that way, and clear down that way, and clear back to the road. I don't even have all the stuff to build it, but I'd like to get some fence put up. That way I could put some animals out here. The problem is my property stops just short of the creek, so I either have to A, dig a well, or B, haul water. Not opposed to either, but what do you do? I would like to get a shelter built up here so I could camp out here this winter. It's not super far from my house. I love spending time out here. My 5-year-old is bound and determined she's gonna come camp with me out here. So if we have a little better structure, it'd make me feel better, just to keep us warm. Her mostly. I'm okay being cold a little bit, but don't want to have some bad times with a 5-year-old freezing to death. So I'm a little better insulated than she is. So depressing. If you guys got any ideas of what kind of trees I should put back out here on this one side, put them in the comments. I would like to get some maybe fruit trees or something. Maybe start a off-grid garden or something out here. I do know where there's some asparagus starts that may get transplanted. Just it kind of make for a good video series, even though I really don't have time to do it. It's something I would really enjoy doing if I could find the time, just because. But I'm just gonna have to start knocking some trees down, and it's just gonna be cut them down and stack them up. I do have a friend with a skid loader that said we could use it in the grapple for fuel. If I paid for fuel, he'd come stack it all for me, if I just cut it all off. Very appreciative. I don't know if I'm going to take him up on it. Depends on how it goes. But I know my free time from now on till spring, the little bit I do get, it's probably going to be with a chainsaw in my hand or a ratchet, because I got to get my pickup fixed because I locked the motor up in it. But thanks for watching, guys. It's good to see you all again. Can't wait for us all to hang out again. And if you have any questions or comments or something you would like to see me do, put it in the comments. We'll see what we can video. Fall is coming closer and closer to an end. I know I still have a bunch of stuff to do at work. But here shortly, 15, 20-ish days, I should start getting a little bit more free time. I know I'm limited on what I can do in that free time because I still have other obligations. But maybe we'll try to get a couple camping videos in, maybe build something. I don't know. You guys tell me what you want to see. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.